How can this happen, We're afraid, and she's afraid.
Coming up, a planned attack at a Florida middle school stopped. How detectives say two preteens plan to kill their classmates and drink their blood. Plus, the hunt for a serial bomber and terrorist as more packaged bombs are found. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon. Just a few hours ago, a neighborhood in New York City became the latest to go on lockdown after another suspicious package was found. As ABC's Maggie Rulli reports, there's now an increased police presence throughout the city as authorities scramble to find out where these packages are coming from.
This morning, more packages found. Authorities confirming they contained pipe bomb-like devices. Police and bomb squads swarming the Tribeca neighborhood of Manhattan, removing a package addressed to Robert De Niro.
The material is there. There's no question about it. It's black powder. Right now, they don't know if it could have exploded or not.
About an hour later, this post office in Wilmington, Delaware was evacuated. Authorities finding a package there that was addressed to former Vice President Joe Biden's home. Another package sent to Biden was found in a Newcastle, Delaware post office overnight. Police say the packages found today are similar in appearance to those sent to nearly a dozen other targets, including former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, and former CIA Director John Brennan at CNN's New York headquarters.
This sort of fits a profile of people who want to get attention.
The FBI now calling it an urgent investigation, releasing these images of the homemade devices and asking for the public's help.
They have a lot to work with. You have maybe a half a dozen bombs that could give you forensic information, DNA, fingerprints, sophistication or lack thereof of the bomb.
Seen in these X-ray images obtained exclusively by ABC News, sources say each package contained a digital clock, explosive powder, a battery as a power source, and wiring to channel a spark for detonation. And each package sent to people or organizations with one common thread, all vocal critics of President Trump. Authorities are reminding the public to be on alert. They say that package found here addressed to Robert De Niro was first spotted by an employee who said he recognized what it looked like from the news. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
And coming up at 12:30, our coverage of the domestic terror threat continues. No matter who's found responsible for the attempted bomb attacks against prominent Democrats, many Americans are asking whether the political discourse has become too heated. We'll take a look at that. Plus, when you should call local authorities about a suspicious package. Those stories coming up in the next half hour. Now to an alleged school attack plot here in Florida that was foiled just in time. Police say two girls, 11 and 12 years old, brought knives and a pizza cutter to school. According to Bartow police, the girls were discovered together in a bathroom, allegedly planning to overpower and stab other students who came inside. Investigators say they wanted to kill classmates, cut them up, and drink their blood. The plan was hatched while watching scary movies during a sleepover. Investigators found childlike drawings of the school and a handwritten note that reads, "Go kill in bathroom." Police crediting fellow students for reporting rumors about a possible school attack.
We had other students that heard a rumor and reported that information. Got it to us quick enough where we could prevent a catastrophe in our community.
The pair is now being held on several charges. They allegedly told police they were Satan worshipers. The two men hoping to be Florida's next governor taking part in a final heated debate last night. That debate between Republican Ron DeSantis and Democrat Andrew Gillum starting off immediately with name-calling. DeSantis defending himself over attending David Horowitz Freedom Center conferences for the last several years. Horowitz known for his anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant platforms. Meanwhile, Gillum defended himself over receiving a ticket to the Broadway show Hamilton from a group that included an undercover FBI agent.
He's the one who was with the lobbyists. And as governor, I will represent all the people. Everyone will get a fair shake. But I am not going to bow down to the altar of political correctness. I'm going to not let the media smear me.
My grandmother used to say a hit dog will holler. And it hollered through this room. Mr. DeSantis has spoken. First of all, he's got neo-Nazis helping him out in the state. He has spoken at racist conferences. He's accepted a contribution and would not return it from someone who referred to the former president of the United States as a Muslim, Nigger. The
general election now less than 2 weeks away. Vice President Mike Pence will survey the damage done by Hurricane Michael in Panama City today. Pence will then speak at an event supporting DeSantis in Jacksonville. He'll then headline a closed Vero Beach fundraiser for Governor Rick Scott, who's running against Democratic Senator Bill Nelson. President Trump will attend a campaign rally next week in Southwest Florida. The president will hold the rally in Fort Myers on October 31st. DeSantis will also attend the event, but it's not clear yet if Governor Scott will be there as well. Well, we've all received those unwanted robocalls, but now some political campaigns are taking it to a new level with unsolicited text messages. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us now with that story. Jess?
Scott, if you've received a text message from a political campaign recently, you are far from alone. Many people are receiving these nuisances, and they're showing up on people's phones all across the nation from both sides of the aisle. Most people will always read text messages, but many people, as you may know, won't answer robocalls. That's why politicians are turning to this cheap and effective method to campaign for votes. Federal law bans robo messages, but nothing prevents campaigns from sending these texts. According to the law, if the messages are manually typed and sent by campaign workers, they're legal. If the campaign uses an automated system, then that's illegal. It's what some are calling a gray area in the law. Now, there is a way to stop some of these text messages. Experts say to text the word stop or take me off your list, and most campaigns will do so. But still, many ask how these campaigns get my cell phone number to begin with. Well, many voters will put their cell phone numbers on their voter registration forms, and that's public record.
The vote-by-mail request information is available to political campaigns, political committees, and political parties. So it's not fully public, but it is available to those groups. So it could be a number from there, or they could be taking the database information just from the names or the addresses and things and matching it up with other databases to try to get, more telephone numbers.
Now, Turner says under Florida law, if the text message is under 200 characters, you don't have to provide a political disclaimer, which is what these text messages are doing. Scott.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. John Scalzi joins us now. I think a lot of us are ready for the election to be done.
I know. Do you remember the day when you used to have a cell phone and say, at least something's safe from robocalls, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Not anymore.
Oh, if only you could go back and not give that phone number out to any business ever.
Yeah,
oh,
I know.
well. Yeah, beautiful weather out there, huh? You like it?
63 this morning when I went for a walk. It was nice.
I know. It was pretty nice indeed. And I think as we head into the weekend, we'll like it even more. I see a lot of air conditioners being shut off this weekend. A lot of blue sky out there this morning. We had some drier air kind of filter in yesterday, and that's sort of shut down the rain machine thus far today. We do have a chance of seeing some showers a little bit later on. But we'll talk about that in a few. As far as the afternoon goes, I think we're going to see a lot like yesterday, actually. Some beautiful blue sky peppered with some fair weather clouds. Maybe some clouds will roll in a little bit later. You can see that kind of ribbon of clouds out there in the Gulf waters, stretching kind of parallel to the state. That's a warm front. It's gradually going to drift into our neck of the woods, and I think by this evening, maybe trigger a shower or two. You can kind of see a forked-looking appearance to the cloud pattern, and that's because on one side, the right side, you have the warm front, on the left side you have a cold front, and all of that gradually approaching the state. Both of those forks producing their own kind of characteristic showers, and both of those have the potential of impacting our weather. First, the warm front showers late today, and the rain chance not all that great, probably at about 30%. But as we head through the afternoon, we'll be looking at some pretty nice conditions, and for your drive home this evening, none of the inclement weather boxes checked on the drive time forecast. Scott?
That's good. Thank you so much, John. In First Alert Traffic, quick work by road construction crews. US 301 between Fruitville Road and Main Street back open this afternoon. The southbound lanes were closed yesterday because of a depression in the road. Now, a drainage pipe underneath that surface of the road had burst, causing it. Originally, repairs were expected to take several days, maybe through the weekend, creating some traffic headaches for drivers, but fortunately, as you can see here, crews were able to complete their work way ahead of schedule, and the road was reopened this morning. Northport police are looking for the driver who smashed into a parked semi-tractor trailer and then took off. Police say they spotted the vehicle with its front end smashed in around 10 o'clock last night. It was parked on East Price Boulevard. Police say the driver struck a parked semi-tractor trailer that was unoccupied and then left the car behind. Police are now trying to track down that vehicle's owner. Still to come in your Suncoast News, moving closer to a cure for Alzheimer's disease. We'll show you the correlation that researchers have found between Alzheimer's and an STD. And a miraculous find after when a 150-year-old church was destroyed by a fire. You won't believe what was found among the debris, completely unscathed.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease a new Subaru Impreza today for just $182 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
All right, 81 degrees, and I think we're probably on our way to a temperature very similar to yesterday, 85, 86 degrees. Dew point values creeping up there at 69. Said yesterday, today would be kind of a transition day to a high humidity day on Friday, and that's exactly what we're starting to see. East wind continues at about 8, but as that wind starts shifting to the south, eventually to the southwest, it is going to just funnel the moisture back in here tomorrow. And tomorrow's going to end up being a very sticky day. Also a much better day for chances of rain showers around as well. We are watching the temperatures climb today, as I mentioned, to about 85 under fairly rain-free conditions by 3 o'clock. But as we head into the evening, the rain chances are actually going to go up. Now, normally as the sun begins to fade, you would expect those rain chances to start to drop, but they're going to go up because we'll have a frontal boundary coming our way. That's going to be a warm front. That's front number 1. It's just offshore right now, kind of forming a line of showers parallel to our coast, but gradually drifting in this direction, all part of a warm front wrapping up around a low pressure area, trailing down as a cold front into the western Gulf waters. A very classic presentation of a mid-latitude storm, something we haven't seen much of yet, but we will be seeing plenty of as the winter progresses. This is really the first real good low-pressure area that we have seen. And it's going to bring us, as I mentioned, a little bit of extra cloud cover as we head into the later afternoon and evening. Right now, everything is quiet on radar, but that will change. Low-pressure area producing lots of rain in the northern Gulf Coast. That's probably where the heaviest of the rain is going to fall, in the northern Gulf Coast in the deep south. The trailing cold front setting up a line of showers, which we will watch. But right now, the Storm Prediction Center believes that the heaviest of the weather will be just to our north, and that makes sense. That's where the energy for this storm will be. So we'd expect to see the biggest potential of some strong gusty winds in North Florida, maybe an isolated tornado or two even possible in extreme North Florida or coastal Carolinas. So the warm front comes through this evening, brings a chance of rainfall. The cold front comes through tomorrow evening, brings another chance of rainfall, maybe even a thunderstorm or two. Winds shift around to the northwest, and we draw down some drier, cooler air. And that'll last for, well, at least through Monday till the next front comes through and brings another reinforcing shot of cooler air. So here's kind of the timing. The futurecast shows the line of showers associated with the warm front lifts north so that by this evening, around drive time, that'll be on our doorstep. It'll tend to kind of fall apart as it encounters the drier air, so not expecting too much out of that. But it will usher in some more moisture, and tomorrow we stay in this moist air, and it's scattered shower almost any time possible. The next line of showers, that's our cold front, and it'll be through here by late in the day, or early in the morning rather, on Saturday by midnight tomorrow. But mostly around Friday drive time through around 8, 9 o'clock is our best potential for seeing some showers. Then once that's through, wind shift, the drier air moves in, and I'll tell you what, we may see a little bit of cloud cover, may see a sprinkle around early Saturday morning, but by Saturday mid-morning, early afternoon, and all day Sunday, just delightful weather in store for us. And it's the first of about a week's worth of beautiful weather. Southwest wind comes in at about 5 to 10. I will say that when that cold front starts to get a little bit closer, the winds are going to pick up. That will occur on Friday, so we'll watch for small craft advisories, 2-foot seas, light chop, and the forecast shaping up like this. We'll have today a 30% chance of late showers. Tomorrow, about a 50% chance of scattered showers here and there throughout the day. And then that line of showers later in the evening moving through a breezy day. Saturday and Sunday, we clear out. High temperature about 80, lower relative humidity, cool, crisp nights. Monday, another front comes through, reinforcing that dry air with a high of 78 on Tuesday. Again, nighttime lows in the 60s. And trick-or-treat time looks pretty darn nice for the kids. Back to you.
Sure does. Thank you so much, John. In Health Smart today, herpes is the dreaded gift that keeps on giving, but could it also be taking our memories away? Well, decades of research shows a striking correlation between Alzheimer's disease and the herpes virus in people carrying a specific gene. And while the findings may be concerning for some, for researchers it is now a source of hope. The findings, published in the Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, raises the possibility of a simple preventative treatment. Well, the way we breathe may affect how well our memories are stored. That's according to a new report published in the Journal of Neuroscience. For the study, the researchers had participants learn 12 different smells on 2 separate occasions. They were then asked to either breathe through their noses or their mouths for 1 hour. The results found that if we breathe through our nose rather than the mouth, we remember better. An Oregon-based nonprofit is helping a young girl with a terminal illness experience a magical Halloween. As Charisse Leclerc reports, the girl's wheelchair is being transformed into a costume.
1, 2, 3.
This pink Minnie Mouse magic wheelchair almost as bright as the smile on Riley Markey's face at the reveal in Derry.
She's got her own car now.
Thanks to an Oregon-based nonprofit started by a dad who has children who use wheelchairs, his idea spreading with volunteer builders across the country like Bonnie Regan.
2 months of just working really hard, knowing that that's the outcome.
Over those 2 months, Bonnie used insulation foam and other materials to transform the chair into this. Welcome smiles for Riley, who has been through a lot in her young life.
Riley has a terminal illness called Lee's disease. It's a neurological disease.
Diagnosed when she was 13 months old, Riley, now 5, has surpassed the odds.
We could be going through the worst things with our jobs and our home and everything, but she's going through the worst thing and she could still have a smile on her face.
And not only does Riley get this very special chair from Magic Wheelchair, but her friend Silas will also be getting his very own on Saturday.
Over like a week's worth of time, we asked him every day which costume he wanted to be, and he ended up picking Max from Where the Wild Things Are.
Both kids will be trick-or-treating in style.
That's awesome because it doesn't make the wheelchair like a tool. It's actually something that's kind of fun for her to do.
Charisse Leclerc reporting there for us. All right, time for lunch, so let's get over to the kitchen and check in today with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Judy?
You know, no matter what the temperature is outside, sometimes it just feels good to have something cooking in the crock pot or a Dutch oven for hours at a time. This is a great dish that you're gonna wanna make to just curl up on the couch, maybe watch some Monday Night Football, or certainly consider to have a meal like the night before Thanksgiving when you probably wanna eat a little bit lighter. But this is actually a vegetable curry stew. So we're gonna use Malaysian seasonings and Thai coconut seasonings, bring it together with Peruvian purple potatoes and cauliflower and just all sorts of essences of greatness, including fresh ginger. So stay with me throughout the hours. We simmer up this beautiful vegetable chickpea stew that I think everybody's gonna enjoy.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gettle Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gettle dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gettle location near you or visit Gettle.com.
Gettle's got it.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do. Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000. Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. You can recover. It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help. The world is a beautiful place again. Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
This next story might not be as miraculous as turning water into wine, but it is close. A 7-alarm fire in Wakefield, Massachusetts destroyed a 150-year-old church on Tuesday, but a large painting of Jesus survived. Take a look as they carry it there. It's untouched. Investigators are looking into what sparked the blaze, but witnesses reported seeing a lightning bolt shortly before the flames erupted from the church's steeple. Let's get back over to the kitchen now and check in again with Culinary Director Judy Gallagher.
Now, even if you're going to use a slow cooker, I really recommend you start out by sauteing the onions in the pan as we're about to do. So a little bit of olive oil, probably about 2 tablespoons, and 1 diced medium-sized onion will do it. We're going to let that get translucent, which means it's not going to brown. It's just going to get tender. And we call it translucent. It's not quite that you can see through it, but you'll get the basic idea of it. So what you want to do is make sure you get all your vegetables prepped ahead of time. So what I do is I do cheat on the butternut squash. You may recall I go over to Whole Foods and they have containers already cut for you, and that's the one thing that I get my back a rest on because they're really hard to cut. I also brought in Peruvian potatoes and the white sweet potatoes, so we have a wide variety of colors. Cauliflower, now you can get the regular, of course, white cauliflower that we know, but also it comes in orange and purple. So if you're using, say, chef potatoes instead of the purple potatoes, that's fine. These types of potatoes are more dense, a little more starchy in the sweet potato, but they are delicious. Okay, for the sake of time, they're almost there. So now we're going to add green, yellow, and red peppers. And this is going to really make the dish very bright. So a lot of times we just think of vegetable soup and vegetable curries, and we don't use peppers. But sweet peppers just add a really great note. So we're going to let this saute for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to add in about 3 tablespoons of ginger. The whole time I'm doing it, I'm readjusting the seasonings. Now, I always look, you know I say, shop your refrigerator. I had some leftover Spanish rice, so instead of cooking couscous or regular jasmine rice, I'm gonna just use that as the finishing touch. So I have everything organized. The kale is gonna be one of the last things that's gonna go in, but we're gonna give this about, say, 5 minutes of just simmering down. And then just with the back of my knife, I can usually, I shot it, that's about a teaspoon. So we have a little Moroccan seasoning, Malaysian seasonings, and then that Thai curry seasoning. That's gonna bring all the flavors together. So we're gonna simmer this down a little bit more. And then before we go to break, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of brown sugar. So let that brown sugar melt in to the onions and the peppers, and I'll come back to finish up this delicious, heartwarming dish.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
ABC7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
This isn't the way that we should expect America to be turning. I mean, you're seeing more and more of this, and clearly you're seeing it on both sides.
Coming up, the political climate of our country becoming too heated, calls for unity as authorities investigate a series of bombs being sent to prominent Democrats and CNN. Your Suncoast News starts again now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story this half hour. No matter who's found responsible for the attempted bomb attacks against prominent Democrats, as ABC's Lana Zach reports, many Americans are asking whether the political discourse has become too heated.
The idea that this is at the hands of the president is absolutely ridiculous.
The White House today is on the defensive, engaging in a responsibility blame game with the media, specifically CNN, a target of the apparent serial bomber.
The very first thing that the president did was come out and condemn the violence. The very first thing your network did was come out and accuse the president of being responsible for it.
CNN's anchors say that's false.
That is not the very first thing CNN did. I'm just going to fact check that every time I hear that false statement. The first thing we did was report the news.
With the midterms approaching, the anger on the campaign trail has been building.
You better put a catcher's mask on your face, because I'm going to stomp all over your face with golf spikes.
That ad from a candidate that the president endorsed. But in the wake of these recent mail bombs, the president last night tried to dial it back.
Any acts or threats of political violence are an attack on our democracy itself.
And while law enforcement hunts for the person or people targeting prominent Democrats in the media, President Trump tweeted another critique of journalists, writing, "A very big part of the anger we see in our society is caused by the purposely false and inaccurate reporting of the mainstream media." That prompted Democratic Senator Chris Murphy to respond. The President of the United States is now blaming the attempted murder of Democrats on press criticism of him.
Now, at a rally last night, the president joked that he was, quote, behaving very well, and he pledged that it would continue. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
As more of those suspicious packages turn up today, including ones addressed to former Vice President Biden and actor Robert De Niro, we wanted to find out what makes a package suspicious and when you should call 911. ABC7's Marla Spence joins us from the post office in downtown Sarasota with the answer.
The FBI believes suspicious packages sent to some political figures were hand-delivered rather than sent through the mail, but the agency says, though, that it's not uncommon for questionable packages to be sent through the Postal Service.
According to the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, bombs and chemicals sent through the mail are rare, but a tiny fraction were investigated as mail bombs. More than 170 billion pieces of mail every year are processed, and only 16 over the last few years were deemed to be suspicious. That, according to the agency, works out to be an average of less than 1 in 10 billion. So how does law enforcement track down those who send suspicious packages, and what makes a package suspicious? We caught up with the bomb squad detective with the Sarasota Police Department. Detective Adam Morningstar tells us packages classified as suspicious are those that are similar to the 10 packages sent to some high-profile politicians.
If you look at it closer, you're going to see things like, for instance, maybe awkward postage, too much postage, maybe labeling on it that doesn't make any sense. A lot of them don't come right out and say they're a bomb. So. A lot of it's going to be misspelled words, addresses that don't exist, return addresses that don't exist, how it's packaged, the weight of it, is there any stains or anything like that, any wires protruding. stuff like that.
Detective Morningstar says the most recent call he's gotten to investigate a suspicious package was this past weekend. Luckily, the package ended up being harmless, but he says if you see something out of the ordinary, to call police.
What they should look for is, again, you got to rely on sort of your gut feeling, your instincts, your intuition. Looking at something that is out of place, something that's somewhere at a time where maybe it shouldn't be. At that point right there, they can call the police and we can come take a look at it.
Morningstar says if a package does end up being harmful to the public, the U.S. Postal Inspection Department will find out who mailed the package if it was sent through the mail. And if the package was dropped off, detectives get on the case right away to find the culprit. I'm Marla Spence reporting in Sarasota for ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. The attorney who defended George Zimmerman in the fatal shooting of Trayvon Martin has joined the legal team of a former Lakeland City Commissioner. Michael Dunn is charged with fatally shooting a man he accused of shoplifting. Mark O'Mara joined Dunn at a hearing this morning seeking a pretrial release from jail. Surveillance video shows Dunn shooting Cristobal Lopez earlier this month. Dunn was charged with second-degree murder last week and resigned Monday from the Lakeland City Commission. 2 utility company linemen are dead and a third critically injured. Deputies say John Gudke of Tampa hit them with a pickup truck hauling a U-Haul trailer. The linemen were repairing lines damaged by Hurricane Michael in Florida's Panhandle when the accident happened. Troopers say Gudke is charged with DUI manslaughter, vehicular homicide, and leaving the scene of a crash. All right, time now to get a check on our delightful weather here on the Suncoast with meteorologist John Scalzi. It was a beautiful morning and not a bad day, right? I guess we're pretty close to normal, huh?
Yeah, just about spot on
yeah.
to normal, really, within a degree or two, more or less. We'll probably be a little bit on the below average side as we head into the next week, I think, for a couple of days.
Change.
Right? We haven't seen that in a while.
No.
So that'll be kind of nice. I think we'll probably catch a little bit of rainfall first, though, although I don't think anything really heavy or serious around here. We're seeing a few clouds build at this time now in inland areas particularly. But, we can expect that. We can expect to see more of that cloud building over the course of the next 12 to 24 hours because of a area of low pressure and a couple of fronts that will be moving through the area. The first one, a warm front. You can see that in the cloud pictures, that kind of rope of clouds out in Gulf waters heading in this direction. That'll be here later this evening, and it'll give us a chance at a shower or two. Now, the air is kind of dry over us, so it's really not going to produce a whole lot of rainfall. The best chances of rain by far are in the northern Gulf Coast and up around north central Florida, where there is the potential even for some severe weather. A trailing cold front from that system can be seen in the far western Gulf. That will also be impacting our weather. We'll give you the details on timing of that coming up in a few. We'll go with about 86 as a daytime high today, just slightly above average for this time of year, but they're pretty close, within a degree or so. And then as we head into the evening, about a 20 to 30% chance of showers. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. The Manatee County School Board approved spending $260,000 to correct problems with the district's business management system. The company hired to implement Manatee's new enterprise resource planning software has agreed to start fixing dozens of problems. Those problems began back in July when the new planning system went live. Glitches caused issues with the ordering of supplies and with the district's payroll. Time to get back to the kitchen and check in on lunch with Judy Gallagher. Judy?
Okay, let's take a look. Now those seasonings have just melted in there with the brown sugar. And do a little adjusting on the seasoning because we're going to add a teeny bit of cayenne powder. So get the flavor profiles a little too spicy. Some of the potatoes are going to absorb that spice. It's always an extra trick is add a peeled potato cut in half and that will absorb a little bit of the extra salt or spice. Not all of it though. But what we're going to do is we're going to deglaze with a little vegetable stock. And again, we'll just bring that in more to a syrup stage, so to speak. And we'll move that around a little bit. Now, this can go in a Dutch oven, which I have right in front, or it can go in your crock pot. And depending on whether you want to cook it on low or high, adjust the temperature. So next, what we're going to do into the crock pot is that butternut squash that's cut. 1 can of diced tomatoes with their juice, a little bit more ginger because I love ginger. We're going to add some cauliflower and we're going to add the potatoes. So I have the white sweet potato and then I have the purple sweet potato and purple Peruvian potatoes, all going to add great flavor. So let's give it a little stir. There we go. All right, it's coming together. Let's add the rest of the vegetable stock and bring that together with 1 can of drained and rinsed chickpeas, okay? Always make sure that you rinse them because you want to get that little bit of sliminess that's in the can, so you want to get that going together. Now we're going to go back, the old chef knife trip, right? I'm just taking my boning knife and we'll put in some coconut Thai curry, some Malaysian and Moroccan seasonings, and we're going to put the lid on and we're going to let this go for 4 hours. So let's take a visit here with our stew that has been simmering in the oven. I put it back on the stove. Now we're going to take about a cup of baby kale. I much prefer to spend the money of getting, even though it says washed, I wash it again, for, you know, in the container and rinse. But the baby kale, it's much more delicate. It's not going to give you the chewy gnawing pieces. I think you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's like, ooh. Okay, so now we're going to add a little coconut milk, and I have the culinary coconut milk that you can pick up on the store shelves, or you can use a regular can of coconut milk. So we'll give this a stir in. So now you see where you're getting the depth. You know, at first you're going to say, it looks a little watery, kind of looks like maybe it's more of a soup. But as it cooks down for 4 hours in that oven or crock pot, look at this. I mean, this can even use a little more kale right there. Oh, I'm in love. Okay, so of course I had to pick up a loaf of crusty hearth bread, and let's get a little of this rice in there. And I'm just gonna garnish it with the rice because I don't think it needs much of anything. So there you have it, crusty cranberry walnut bread. A little trick, sometimes with vegetable stew, I like to put one little drizzle of olive oil on top. All those flavors come together and they are absolutely delicious. So I'll be back for a taste in just a few minutes.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Stop in and save big on new Ram trucks during Ram Power Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years running. Get an all-new 2019 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $24,999. Or save big and get up to $14,328 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
Support the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund by donating to the United Way of Northwest Florida today. Help communities rise and rebuild after the devastating mess left behind. Every donation makes a difference and is appreciated. Together, we are all Panhandle strong.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at a temperature of 81 degrees with a dew point value of 69. So that dew point value is creeping up. As I mentioned earlier in the week, I thought we would get to a dew point value of 70, and we're inching our way to it. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see us crack that 70-degree mark a little bit later on today or tomorrow. Certainly, I think we'll stay in the 70s dew points for the better part of the day. Tomorrow will be a lot muggier than today. 85 degrees the air temperature as we head into the evening hours. A warm front moves through. Our winds start to shift. Humidity starts to increase, and I'll factor in a 20 to 30% chance of showers that really lingers into the evening hours and overnight. No heavy rainfall, but there'll be scattered showers around. You can see that kind of line of showers beginning to develop, and behind it, really warm, humid air headed in this direction. We'll be in the warm sector of the storm, which is this right between these two kind of spikes of rain showers. That warm, humid air will be sitting over us tomorrow. And we'll wait for the cold front, which is right back here, to advance in this direction and bring us some really nice relief from that humidity as we head into the weekend. The weekend looks really pretty good. Satellite view shows that line of clouds associated with a warm front heading in this direction, not triggering any showers quite yet, but it will as it gets closer to us, and that will happen tonight. As the front gets on our doorstep, we'll see a shower or two around. We're in the warm, muggy air after that. We get a shower around during the day. Tomorrow, during the maximum heating of the day, our best chance of seeing some scattered showers. And then the cold front arrives on our doorstep, probably around drive time tomorrow, with another good chance of rainfall. So it looks like there's a possibility that Friday Night Football might get a little bit of, might get a shower or two. Might even get a thunderstorm, so we'll be watching for that. Partly cloudy skies today, late showers possible, and then Friday again, showers throughout the day, hit and miss off and on, but better chance during the evening hours. And then clearing during the overnight, becoming a little bit breezy as well. Small craft advisories may be needed. Timing shows these storms approaching us during drive time this evening, kind of falling apart as they get closer, but there'll be some scattered ones around. And then the cold front approaches by tomorrow evening, moves through here, and then we start to see a big change in our weather that lasts for at least a week. Now, there is a risk of severe weather tomorrow, mostly in north central Florida. The area of disturbed weather that could produce those showers is going to be kind of centered around that low pressure area, so we'll continue to keep an eye out for that. As we head into the afternoon, there's a possibility of perhaps some gusty winds with some of the storms that move through tomorrow afternoon. There'll be some gusty winds that move through areas of north central Florida, and then as it climbs up toward the Carolinas, maybe even isolated tornado not out of the question. But as I said, that line, that dark green line denoting a minimum amount of risk for severe weather, is to our north. But we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens with some of those storms as they come on shore. The heaviest of the rainfall also will be well to the north. And you can see there'll be some pockets here where you could pick up some 2, maybe 3-inch rainfalls, and that could be in the panhandle as well. For us, I don't think we'll see anything like that. We might get an inch rainfalls under some of the thunderstorms, possibly. More likely, we're looking at a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of rainfall with this system. In the tropics, one system does have the potential of some development over time, 70 to 80%. It'll probably recurve out in the open waters of the Atlantic, but we will continue to watch it. If it's named, it'll be called Oscar. As far as our weather goes, southwest wind at 5 to 10, becoming stronger tomorrow. Watch for that. Could be some small craft advisories. And as I mentioned, a 50% chance with breezy winds tomorrow, followed by clearing and cooler over the weekend. Daytime highs near 80. Another front on Monday lowers our temperatures again on Tuesday to 78 for a daytime high. With nighttime lows in the 60s, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful Halloween. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, the stock market's gains for this year have been mostly erased thanks to share prices falling 13 of the last 15 trading days. The Dow losing 608 points yesterday, more than 2%. and it's off more than 7% this month, although their markets are regaining some of that back today. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis shows us what's causing the sharp declines.
Tech stocks have been considerably weak. They were some of the year's highest flyers. Now they're some of the weakest stocks. Amazon, Apple, Google, the parent company of Google, Alphabet, some of the biggest losers. In addition to that, there are fears about the economy going forward and whether or not it can really keep pace with where it's been so far this year. While growth has been chugging along, jobs have been looking good, even wages have been increasing, there are other areas starting to show some signs of cracks. For example, the housing market. Interest rates are also rising, and when interest rates rise, it becomes more expensive for you or a company to take on debt, which means usually less spending. Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
And speaking of the housing market, for the fourth month in a row, new home sales have fallen across the U.S. The Commerce Department says they were down 5.5% in September alone. Since May, sales on new homes have fallen over 15%. Still to come, we'll check in one more time with Chef Judy in the kitchen, and then actor and rapper Ice-T is in some hot water when the star was arrested. Coming up in entertainment news.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Support the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund by donating to the United Way of Northwest Florida today. Help communities rise and rebuild after the devastating mess left behind. 100% of all Hurricane Michael donations are applied to the local relief efforts in the Northwest Florida area. Every donation makes a difference and is appreciated. Together, we are all Panhandle Strong.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
So our vegetable curried stew is done, and we add that depth of the coconut milk at the end, a little rice on top. I happen to have Spanish rice left over, so use that, but you can mix in quinoa or couscous or jasmine rice. A great cheat starter, say you only have about an hour and a half instead of the traditional 4 hours that would go in a crock pot, use the lentil vegan soup that you get over at Whole Foods. It's fantastic. Add 1 or 2 of those in the beginning, and what happens is that's going to give it that extra flavor that another 2 hours would have taken. I'm going to serve it with that crusty bread, and all those flavors and ginger and curries all come together, and this is quite filling. So 1 bowl and you're going to feel like you're ready for your pajamas. You can get this recipe and a lot more on our dining page. Go on mysuncoast.com, click on recipes, and we have much more to offer, like restaurant recommendations and events happening in town. So I'm going to take a little taste of my own cooking, and I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Judy, thank you so much. Coming up later today on ABC7 News at 4, yellow could soon be added to Florida's spectrum of colors that are used for coded highway alerts that involve a hit-and-run crash. And a Florida man is behind bars after authorities say he claimed more than $50,000 making false storm assistance claims. We hope to see you later today at 4. In entertainment news, Ice-T feeling the heat for not paying a bridge toll. The rapper and actor was arrested yesterday on charges he evaded the toll at the George Washington Bridge between New York City and New Jersey. Ice-T was pulled over after he failed to pay the toll and was issued a summons for not having plates and registration. Hours after he was released, Ice-T joked about the arrest on Twitter, saying, "I love how people think just because I act like a cop on SVU, I get special treatment from the real cops." Big milestone for Wicked. 15 years ago, a couple of witches-to-be took over Broadway. The musical Wicked shook off some tepid reviews to roar into Broadway history. On Monday, the show will celebrate its coming of age with a Halloween-themed NBC special starring its original stars, Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel.
I knew it was something special. I thought it was important. I knew it moved me when I first auditioned and got a call back and had to learn Defying Gravity, and how I felt learning and singing that song. I was like shaking.
Wicked is Broadway's 6th longest running show and is regularly sold out. Have you seen that on Broadway, John?
I did. I saw it with Idina Menzel and
oh wow.
And I didn't see it with Chenoweth. She had left the show.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you again at 4.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-Sparky.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
We'll tell you where to find the scariest and the funniest Halloween celebrations here on the Suncoast. I'm Linda Carson. On Suncoast View, we'll preview the spookiest Halloween events to check out this weekend. Live as a Cabaret at the Manatee Performing Arts Center will preview their new production, and Michael's on East will join us in our kitchen.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Shop online anytime at VeniceToyota.com on US 41 South.